Hello everyone, my name is Loco and welcome back to Skylines Snowfall. Today we're gonna be talking about this new DLC, and I do actually plan on making a couple of follow-up videos as well where I'm gonna be actually building some things. But today we're probably mostly gonna be focusing on going over the different things that they've added in this new DLC, and also, you know, just generally show you Snowcopia. Snowcopia is the new city, as you may be aware. About a year or so ago I did a playthrough of a city called LowkoTV, and honestly, ever since then, I've always sort of picked up this game and just played for a couple of hours here and there. And I've actually just checked my Steam overview. I've got more than 70 hours logged in this game. And even though I play a lot of different types of games, I would say this is probably either my favorite video of, or like my favorite game of last year, or maybe I would have to give that spot to Ori and the Blind Forest. That game was awesome as well. But either way, we're gonna go ahead and try our very best here to go over the changes that they have introduced in Skylines Snowfall, and whether or not you should go ahead and purchase it. Now, first things first, we had a little bit of a snowstorm just now, as you could see, and the snowstorm obviously is going to be, well, it wasn't really much of a storm actually, but the snow is going to be covering most of the streets, most of the shops that we got. It's gonna be covering the trees as well, and in general, as you may have guessed, the new DLC is just introducing a snowfall based city, something that wasn't really possible in the previous setting of Cities Skylines. Obviously, we had like a lot of tropical islands, and we had a lot of like tropical overviews of like cities that you could build and whatnot. But right now, technically speaking, you could build like a ski resort or whatever if you really wanted to. And I'm kind of guessing that maybe at some point in this city, we're gonna go ahead and try and do so. Maybe over here in like some of the mountainy areas. For the moment, we really don't have very much of this. But anyways, so yesterday, right when the expansion came out, I started playing it on the live stream, and I've got roughly about 6 or so hours logged in this city right here. It's not the biggest of biggest ones, as you may be aware. I focus on, you know, aesthetically good looking cities. That has always been my goal when playing this game. And the first hour or so that I played, I messed around in another city, and I actually basically lost the game. So the first thing that I noticed in the new expansion is that it's actually a lot more difficult. If you don't actually pay attention to the amount of buildings you put down and you go in depth early on, you will probably not be able to get very far. Just because, obviously, once the daytime hits or the nighttime hits and there is a snowstorm on the way, you will have to pay attention to this new statistic here at the bottom. So you can see right now there is a pretty low temperature. It's currently minus 20 degrees Celsius, which is pretty dang cold. I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty dang cold. I don't think that's actually something I've ever personally experienced myself, but when you first start off in a new city in Snowfall, you will actually have to keep in mind that because it's so cold out, people will start using a lot more electricity to heat up their houses. Now, a little bit later on into the game though, you will have different options available as well to sort of, you know, fix that issue with the heating. However, early on, you're gonna need to, you know, use a lot of electricity. So in my very first playthrough, I decided to go with clean energy. I wanted to be putting up some wind turbines to just, you know, keep things going and keep things fresh. But it turned out that after a couple of, you know, nights and after a couple of, you know, cold places in the city, I actually ran out. I ran out of money. I ran out of electricity. I couldn't be upping my budget for it anymore either. So, you know, I basically was just in a state where I had to either restart or, you know, sell a whole lot of things. And I just figured I should just restart. So that is where Snowcopia was born. And like I mentioned early on, I was using mostly this thing right here. This thing right here, no, not the incineration plant, this thing right here, the oil power plants, to provide my city with the electricity it needs. Now, I am not playing like unlimited money mode here. I'm not playing with unlimited money, but I did start off with all of the unlockable things unlocked. So I just started off with an oil power plant, and obviously, if you actually select that option, you also start off with like 700,000 money or so, 700,000 in-game currency. I went ahead and, you know, actually was practically broke. I had like 20,000 left over at some point, but then the city finally started earning some, and right now we're in a good healthy state. So I started off with the oil power plant that provided the city with plenty of electricity early on, and later on I replaced a whole lot of the things with one of the new aspects that they've added on into the game, and that is going to be a boiler station. So as you may be aware, at, you know, the basic functionality of the game, you can put down water pipes, right? If you put down water pipes, you can provide your city with water. One of the new things, though, that is new in this DLC here is that we now can also provide heating for a city by simply putting down these boiler stations or by putting down these geothermal heating plants that I've actually never put down before. I kind of want to be putting one down. Hold on. Don't turn night yet. I want to show something real cool when it's nighttime as well. But I just want to quickly look at what exactly this looks like. So we'll put down a geothermal heating plant. Alright, I don't know about this positioning though. This thing is really expensive too. Alright, whatever. Where are we gonna put it? Right over here. Or right over here. Oh man. I am like I mentioned, okay, I'm one of those guys that keeps deleting things because I don't like the aesthetic look of it. That is me. So if you're annoyed at someone doing that, just be aware that that is more than likely gonna happen multiple times. Let me just extend this road a little more so I actually know for certain that it's gonna fit in that corner. We'll go over the mods, by the way, that I got installed in a little bit as well. But let me put down this geothermal thing just so I can see exactly what it looks like. There we go. Wow, that's actually a pretty looking building. This one is much better for the environment, I believe, than the other one is, or maybe I'm mixing the two up. Either way, basically this thing is gonna help the city provide, you know, heating. So what I can do is basically upgrade my existing water pipes with water pipes that also have heating pipes in them. So I obviously need to make sure that this dude is going to be connected to the existing line, and now it will provide the city with heating. So just like you could in the past, you can upgrade, you know, you can upgrade roads as well, obviously, but you can also upgrade the existing water pipes by just simply using this this little exclamation point here. Now the funny thing about this is that it's actually super expensive. Like upgrading a little part like that is actually close to 1,000. So providing the entire city with extra heating was actually a pretty expensive joke. Now at that point, once you do so, it does help out a lot. So as you can see, like my little university campus that I made a little while ago doesn't currently have let me actually turn on. Oh, actually, I don't think I can turn that on at the moment. My little university thing apparently doesn't have a full connection. Where does that come from? Wait, why do you guys not have enough heating? This is the heating symbol, right? I believe so. Not enough heat? What? Maybe if I unpause it. I mean, I just added in a new heating thing. Either way, yeah, there we go. So this is mostly gonna be fixed right now. Either way, the heating thing is something that's completely new to the game, and that is just because it's super cold. If you don't have these stations ready to go, what will happen is people start pulling out a ton more electricity. Now, one of the new things as well, hopefully we have a good night for it. Let me see. If it gets really... actually, I think I may already be a little late. Is that the sun setting or the sun rising? We have the northern lights as well. If it's like a clear night sky and if it's not snowing and if it's actually nighttime. But I think I'm already a little bit too late for that. We can speed up the process a little bit. Do we still get it? No. We're early in the night. All right, here we go. So I want to be looking up, and then we could already start getting a glimpse of it. Oh man, where is it? Oh, I thought it would happen every night. I thought it would happen every night that we'd get a beautiful northern light sky. Hold on, let me fast forward a little. Oh, here we go. So it's a little bit later on into the same night. And this is actually like a natural phenomena as well that apparently you can see if you're like somewhere way up north. In the Netherlands, we don't have this. But I would love to go see that at some point. Like, it's actually a natural phenomenon that is apparently very clearly visible as like green lines in the sky, and like, you know, I've never seen it before, but I hope I will at some point. But yeah, that's one of the new additions as well, besides just the heat and the snow. Now, one of the other things that we will have to keep in mind here as well, while apparently my buildings are spacing out because it's nighttime at the moment, one of the new things that is currently also available are beautiful, what are they called? Snow dumps. The snow dumps are obviously going to be a necessity, in particular once it gets, you know, extremely snowy. So as you can see right now, it starts snowing again. I don't know if this is going to be a bad storm at all, but if it gets really bad and, you know, if the snow just keeps going on and on and on, the roads will become an absolute mess. And in particular, when you're first starting out with the city, that's a big problem. One of the things, though, that you can do to fix that is put out these snow dumps. And the snow dumps will basically, yeah, currently there's no snow plows, or there's actually one snow plow in use. That will make it so that the snow can get cleaned off from the road. So I believe this is one of those buildings, or one of those things right here. We'll just follow it around for a little bit. See if it's gonna pick up any of the snow. They basically just drive around through the city, and they obviously will just, you know, help out with the clearing of the road. So there's actually another one right there going off in the distance. If you don't have those though, what happens is that basically your entire city becomes a mess, because people won't be able to go home, the roads become terrible, and if the snow keeps on for a long time, you will basically find yourself losing the game. I mean, your citizens will start using out more and more electricity. Your electricity can't really be provided because of the limited budget that you have, and at that point, because nobody can actually get to where they want to be, you will also start losing the amount of money that you're earning in the city. So there's like a completely new challenge that did get added in this adventure and this DLC. Now, those are the main things that they've added. They added on some quality of life changes as well, such as, for example, a new way of public transport. Where is it? It's right here, the tram depot. And the trams is, as you may have already guessed, a tram depot where you can basically just have a different way for your citizens to go around. I'm just waiting for a tram to arrive. I'm sure some will come very soon. And obviously this is on top of, you know, your trains, your metros, your airport, your boats, and all those kind of things. You now can also provide your, yeah, there we go. There's one right there. You can also provide your citizens with this beautiful thing known as a tram. And what happens is that those will just simply ride around. You can upgrade existing roads to basically become a tram road as well, where you find those lines on the top of it. And just like putting up bus lines, you can now put up these train roads as well. That works quite well in like the downtown sides of the city. So this is what it looks like. I don't have a very like significant portion of the city currently connected, but it's very similar as putting up like the bus depots and whatnot. Now, those are honestly the main things. So it's like a graphic overhaul. You get some extra additions to the city, as well as like some additional parts that you know, just need some thinking and just, you know, need a little bit more of a strategic approach. But would I say it's like the biggest of biggest DLCs? Well, honestly, no. If you enjoyed playing the game a lot though in the past, I would highly recommend picking this one up as well, because there's so many cool things that you can do with it. I believe this DLC is $15, like 13 euro if I'm not mistaken, so it's not like it's the most expensive game. But if you're currently playing City Skylines and you're happy with it, I would highly recommend just keep on playing it. You know, you could even just disable most of these things as well and just play on with your old maps instead. However, I'm gonna go ahead and play some more. So just to give you like a general overview of what I've currently built in the city, we got this this grid-like setup, and the grid-like setup is a way that I prefer starting to play early on. We got some 4-lane roads leading in right here from the sites that are basically connecting the main areas of the city. So they go into the roundabout. The roundabout is obviously going to be directional, and as you can see, the rest of the city is also built up in directional roads, and they're basically intertwined constantly, and they're basically just making it so that the traffic flow is very natural. Now, one part of the city right here is mostly just focused on high-rise. So this high-rise that we've got going on here is set up in a bit of a custom park that I made in the middle that I'll probably have to replace at some point. But this custom, or this high-rise right here is just like the basic meat of the city that is providing me with all of like the income and whatnot. Then over here, if you follow this 4-lane road outward, we get more of like into an industrial terrain. Now, I had actually removed a whole bunch of it because there weren't enough like educated people, or like not enough like uneducated people, I suppose it was, to really work in these areas. And I also obviously have my geothermal plant right there. We got the snow plasma incineration plants and whatnot over in this area too. Then there's a little bit of a sewer thing going on over here that I actually really don't like. I mean, that looks terrible. Maybe we can actually add on a water like treatment thing real quick, because I really dislike these things. I'll go ahead and like set these things up. How many do you think I need? I'm just gonna put 3 down. Alright. Yeah, that will do. That will do for the moment. I'll just make sure that these obviously are also gonna be connected. I think for the most part for the city, I'm just gonna be using the new pipes instead. I mean, we can go ahead and just use them here as well, even though these buildings don't really need heating. But I think just for like, you know, being a completionist, this is also a fine way of approaching it. Alright, so these buildings are now going to be heated as well. I guess, I don't know exactly what happens if they are not cold enough, but at least this should like sort of filter the water a little and make it look not nearly as dirty as it is. Currently, there's only one intake for the water, and that is over here. It is apparently enough pumping station right now to keep this up, so not too complaining. So this is the main part of the city that we can expand as far as I humanly would want to. We got the city leading in from the main road and the highway right from this area here to one big roundabout that I set up real quick, and that is how people get in and out of the place. Now, on top of that, we also have like a little overpass here that will lead towards the university campus, and the university campus is right over here. This is what the university looks like. I put some parking spots around the area as well, put some, you know, pedestrian paths that people can use, and we set up the dormitories. So the dormitories right here are obviously the places where the students can go ahead and live. We have a lot of like burger places here, and apparently, is this the shiny unicorn jewelry shop? I believe it is. I believe it is. Can we zoom down? Sometimes it doesn't want to zoom down all the way, which is one of the mods, by the way, that I'm using. But anyways, like we got some places where the students can go out and eat and obviously get whatever they would need. And we have a bit of a park over here in the back where they can smoke weed, pretty much, right? I mean, there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of students here. There's a lot of dormitories. And in general, it's just a nice little area to, you know, hopefully live. Now, actually, I just noticed that apparently I didn't put up enough trees here yet. So far, I'm actually really happy with the look of this city. I mean, I put a lot of effort into all kinds of little aspects of it, trying to custom make as much of it as possible, making sure that we don't get too big of a high-rise. Like, ideally, actually, I don't really like these super tall buildings here. It doesn't really look like a student flat at that point, right? But all is good. As far as like recreational things go, we got a couple of these skating pits over here, and there's actually some people dancing in there, which is kind of cute. Obviously we had to like make sure that those are also connected with trees and whatnot. And we got another one over here. We got another one over here. I did make some more areas. We got another one of those fire pits over here, and I've been working pretty symmetrically for the most part. I know there's a couple of crematoriums over here once again with these parking lots. I did add on a couple of extra things, such as like the super zoom mod that I already talked about, that allows me to like basically zoom in and out. I also added in the mod that unlocks all of the things early on, like I already mentioned, that gave me a bunch of extra money. Parking spots as well to make sure that, you know, we get enough of those things. We also have a cross-country skiing park, which is actually part of the base game. And in general, I just added in some things that I think are a quality of life addition, such as like parking lots practically everywhere, and you know, just general things that make it look a little bit better. We also have an elementary school here. I added on fences everywhere that allow me to, you know, have a bit more of like an aesthetically pleasing city, which has always been my main goal, right? So, you know, elementary school students can now take the car to, no, I don't know. Like, they can be dropped off easier, right? Instead of just one car. And the nice thing is that these things, like, these are all from the workshop. People actually park their cars over here, which is pretty, you know, pretty epic. So all in all, the city is starting to develop very nicely. Now, like I mentioned, I do want to develop this more and more and more, because I honestly have a bit of a weakness for this game. I'm thinking about making one massive industrial area over here, using like I want to get like a harbor going, most likely, with like ships and whatnot. So maybe put like a harbor here over there somewhere, and just build up a very like unique industrial area where you have like a super nice park going where people can go ahead and use it, and that also, you know, obviously square off the terrain here and just make like the best looking city that I can possibly go for, that is not just like great looking but also very functional and actually earning money. So I'm actually quite excited to do that. We may, though, have to actually increase the population a little bit more before we do such things. So if you're interested in watching me play some more City Skylines, by all means, let me know by hitting that like button, but also make sure to subscribe so you get a notification as soon as I upload more of it. So would I say this game is worth purchasing? If you enjoyed playing the original one, I would definitely say go ahead and get this one as well. It's not super expensive. Obviously, you know, I'm assuming here you have 10 bucks to spare or 15 bucks to spare, but if you know, are happy with the base game and you know, haven't finished playing that one yet, just, you know, by all means, play around in the workshop, because most of the things you can probably just find in there. It's just like a nice addition with some new challenges in there that will allow you to keep the game a little more fresh. And other than that, it is going to be enough for this video. I will, like I mentioned, keep on playing this as well for at least a couple more episodes. So if you have any great suggestions of what I should be adding to the city as well, by all means, let me know, because I'm always open for suggestions. Just know that once I will start playing this, there's probably going to be a lot of deleting and whatnot that I will have to make sure happens, just because things do need to look very, very good. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day, alright? Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!